Chapter 6. Beneath the Stars. The fate wound down as the night stretched on, the lanterns casting flickering shadows over the green. Couples lingered on the dance floor, and the air was thick with laughter and the hum of cicadas. Tilly had found a quiet spot on the edge of the festivities, the noise and excitement suddenly overwhelming. She gazed at the stars, their brightness unspoiled by city smog. The beauty of the countryside had begun to soften her, though she wasn't quite ready to admit it aloud. "Thought I might find you out here." Tom's voice broke through the quiet. Tilly turned to see him standing a few feet away, his hands shoved into his pockets. His usual playful demeanor was absent, replaced by something quieter, more tentative. "I needed some air," she said, her voice softer than usual. "Mind if I join you?" She hesitated, then nodded. He settled beside her on the low stone wall, leaving just enough space between them to feel the weight of his presence. For a while they sat in silence, the distant music and laughter a soft backdrop. "Tilly," he began, his tone uncertain, "do you ever feel like you don't belong? Like you're trying to fit into a world that wasn't made for you?" The question caught her off guard. "All the time," she admitted. "I felt it in London, even before the war. And here, well, I'm still figuring it out." He nodded, his gaze fixed on the stars. "Sometimes I feel like I'm not doing enough. Staying here, tending fields, fixing fences. It feels so small when everything out there is so big, so broken." Tilly turned to him, surprised by the vulnerability in his voice. "Tom, what you're doing here, it's not small. It's holding things together. For your family, your neighbors, even for me." He looked at her then, his green eyes searching hers. "For you?" She felt a lump rise in her throat, but didn't look away. "You've made this place bearable. More than that, you've made it beautiful." For a moment, neither of them spoke. Then Tom reached out, his hand covering hers. "You do the same for me, you know," he said quietly. The warmth of his touch, the sincerity in his voice, it was almost too much. Tilly blinked back tears she hadn't expected. "I'm not used to this," she whispered, "letting someone in." "Neither am I," Tom admitted, "but with you, it feels right." The night stretched on around them, and for the first time, Tilly didn't feel the ache of what she'd left behind. Instead, she felt something new, something fragile but full of promise.